All right, so let's talk a little bit about bananas and ripeness. One of my favorite subjects in life, banana ripening. Um, I did write a whole book about it, the Little Banana Book, and maybe you read it already. If not, I suggest you check it out, of course. But today I wanted to talk quickly about something I've talked about before, but I want to talk about it again, and that is eating ripe bananas. It's of utmost importance for your health and for your satisfaction, for the sustainability of your diet, that you eat ripe bananas. So here's the thing, people, even people in the raw food movement, even people that's been in the game for a while, people are still consuming not fully ripe bananas sometimes. And it's interesting because even I did so. Even I, for the first 2 years of my life, I was not completely aware of what a ripe banana looked like or tasted like or should be like. I thought it was overripe when it actually wasn't. I thought it was ripe when it actually wasn't. And finding that sweet spot, no pun intended, can be a little bit hard because it varies a little bit, and there are gray areas on both sides of perfect ripeness. And again, I cover this in detail in the Little Banana Book with a chart even where you can see the different levels of ripeness. But for example, today I have these bananas here. Okay, I was eating these earlier today. Well, it's a different bunch, but same batch. And they're spotty, right? We all learn bananas should be spotty. There should be spots all over them, then they're ripe. But how many spots, and how do you really know though? Well, there's other signs as well, because this one is spotty. Like a normal person would probably say, oh, these are like definitely ripe. But these are not ripe. These are not ripe. You see that green on the top there? That's the signal that they're not ripe. Even though, disclaimer, I've had bananas that have green there, that are in fact ripe. It's very unpredictable what happens. So you have to look at more than one sign. It's not enough just to say that they're spotted. They need to be spotted though. That's the sign of the sugars, the starch in the banana turning to sugar. So it's a good sign that it's spots on the banana. Then you should feel for softness, and this is something you just have to learn over time. These are a little bit firm, so I noticed they're a bit too firm. The other thing is when you're sort of, like you see here, I can sort of do that without anything happening. Whereas when they're fully ripe, it'll just go off, and this is almost ripe, so it'll just go off a little bit easier than this one did today. It'll just be like quiet, just going off easily. And the other thing is, and I don't know I'm gonna peel it just for you, even though I'm not gonna eat it right now. When you're peeling it, you want it to be completely quiet, like this one. Did you hear that? That sound? That shouldn't be there. If you're peeling a perfectly ripe banana, it should be just like perfectly quiet. So that sticking sound is starch, basically. It hasn't completely gone ripe. And I noticed after my smoothie, I had like 1,000-calorie smoothie, just like this huge jar, just prior to making this video. And I noticed when I was peeling them, these aren't fully ripe. They're just on the cusp to becoming ripe, so they're edible. I didn't have anything else, so no big deal. I can eat it. But I noticed on my teeth afterwards, there's this film, like a little bit of a stickiness to my teeth, and that's the starch. Starch is sticky, So that's another sign. If your teeth are a little bit like covered in something afterwards, you know that you were eating a little bit of a starchy banana, or a whole bunch of starchy bananas maybe. So that's it. You want to eat fully ripe bananas where all the starch in the banana has turned to sugar. That will satisfy you better, it will digest easier, and most of all, the banana will be way more delicious, whether you put it in a smoothie or if you eat it straight up. These bananas today are kind of like, tomorrow though, when they're like first day of actually ripe, they'll be like, wow. And then the day after, where they're probably like peaking in terms of ripeness, they'll be super delicious, super sweet, easy to eat, and it's just amazing. And be aware though that you have to be able to distinguish between ripeness and damage. I'll make another video later about that. But this stuff here, this brown, these spots here, That's not ripening spots. That's damage. Blunt trauma. So some people think that the banana is ripe when it's brown all over, whereas sometimes it's actually not even close to ripe, but it's damaged and they think it's ripe. So you better look at the stem, you better feel it, you better peel it and listen, and ultimately taste it and feel how it feels in the mouth, and if it's sweet, that'll tell you whether or not it's actually ripe. So hope that helped, a little bit of an insight into my banana world. Read my banana book if you're interested in a healthy fruit-based diet. It's all about buying, storing, ripening, eating bananas and why they're so important. I love bananas and I eat a lot of bananas nowadays. A lot of bananas. Alright, I'm gonna go out for my afternoon walk in the city, just a stroll around town. My favorite part of the day almost. Just look at people and digest bananas. Thanks for watching, have an awesome day, and I will see you around.